Hey, how's it going, everyone? Back with another knife overview. Today we are going to be looking at the Reeve's Impinda or Impinda. Before I get started, huge shout out to my buddy Zach. He let me borrow this Impinda, and because I've never held or even looked at one really before, but I do really enjoy Reeve knives, and this is one of the models that they put out, so I thought I would take it for a rip. I don't have the box, but rest assured, comes with your standard Reeve white box, all that stuff that's normally in it, tools, lubricant, or grease, I guess. The Impinda also does come with this slip right here, so I think that's a really nice touch. With that, we'll go into the details. So this features a 3.13 inch blade, so she's a little guy. It's going to be S35 VN steel. However, on Reeve's website, they do say that in the near future, I guess, they're going to be coming out with an S45 VN version of this, but the one here is S35 VN. Overall, you're looking at 7.15 inches. It weighs 3.38 ounces. Again, it's a full frame titanium knife. Titanium handles, closed, which you're gonna gotta use two hands here. It's gonna be 4.02 inches closed, and the MSRP on this little guy is $500. So we're gonna get into my observations from carrying this knife for a little bit. Before we do that, I'm gonna get into a few comparisons. So the Reeve Impinda as compared to a small Inkosi looks like that, so pretty similar, but the handle is obviously bigger, but the blade size is very similar. Then we also have a Reeve large Savenza 31. Looks like that. I'm going to pause there for a second because I'm sure this will be the shot that a lot of people want to see. What else? Strider SMF looks like that. And then finally, we will go with a Demco AD20S out of Wampum, Pennsylvania. Looks like that. So we're gonna get into my observations. I was able to spend some time with this knife, and yeah, appreciate y'all tuning in. So the first observation that I had of this knife, or not really an observation, but I wanted to know more about the history of this knife. So this is going to be a collaboration. So it is Reeve, but it is also designed by William Harsey, which, makes some absolutely great knives. I love its designs. I have quite a few of them, but this is going to be, and I want to say this right from the jump, this is a slip joint, right? So it is a slip joint knife. You need two hands in order to open it. You cannot operate this knife with one hand, and there's no locking mechanism. I think it's kind of a common misconception that, you think of Reeves, and most of the time you think of your traditional folders like the Sabenzas or Inkosis. This is going to be a slip joint knife. So before you spend $500 on a knife and then get this and be like, what the heck, it doesn't even lock open, that's why. So just be cognizant of that, because I think from what I've seen, there could be some, misconceptions there. All right, and with that, we'll kind of blast through my observations with this knife, because honestly, there isn't too much to say, but it's a super simplistic package. Kind of think of like your grandpa's slip joint, but with modern materials. Again, we have S35 VN, which used to be a super steel. We will see S45 VN in hopefully the near future, and then, titanium handles. So kind of a modern feel to a more traditional slip joint. The next observation was that there is no jimping, but there is this small kind of pointer finger cutout for ergonomics when you have the knife open. It is very comfortable to hold in your hand. I do have very large hands, but I can't fault them for the ergonomics of this knife. It feels really good. The next observation that I had was this does have a very unique pocket clip. Definitely deep carry. It's different. Well, actually, I don't even have, oh, actually, let's see. Oh, yeah. Here's a more traditional, so OEM Reeve pocket clip, looks like that. I have a Timascus deep carry on my large Sabenza, but I think that's cool. Like, it's kind of, it follows the ergonomics of the knife. It's a little bit like sweeping. It is very comfortable in your pocket when you're using it, whether you do that or you actually end up using the slip that it comes with. Either carry option, very comfortable. All right, the last observation that I had about the Reeve Impinda, which again, Not really too much to say about it. So the way that this is set up, though, I'll cover it real quick. So it is going to be right hand tip up only, and that's further punctuated by the fact that, you know, it has this little, I'm going to call it like a fingernail fuller here to help you open it, as with, you know, traditional slip joint knives. But I will say that the tension on this is so great that I'm pretty sure you, I mean, I don't really have fingernails to speak of, but you would definitely break a fingernail trying to open this with your right hand. If you are left-handed, you're not going to have any of that. You just got to kind of grab it and, you know, force it open from there. So this is definitely set up for right hand carry only as depicted. The last observation that I had was, we got to talk about the price tag on this one. $500, realizing this is going to be a USA made, you know, premium materials, the titanium, we covered that. But this is such a simple design that it would be nice to kind of see the plain Jane version be a little bit cheaper, I think. I don't know if it's just from a manufacturing standpoint, again, the throughput with a large Sebenza or Incosis, etc. They probably just make so many of them that it's cheaper to make them now. But this one still does hold a $500 price tag. And so for that, you know, I mean, some people are really into slip joints, so, I mean, it makes sense. Who am I to kind of bash someone that wants to spend this kind of money on a slip joint? But just kind of know what you're getting before you pick up an Impinda. With that, that concludes my overview of the Reeve Impinda. As I said before, just know what you're getting before you grab one of these. If you want a modern slip joint designed by some of the best in the industry, you know, certainly have at it. Order one of these. It'll be well worth the money. Again, the pedigree here, William Harsey plus Chris Reeve. It's kind of a winning combination. But if you're not so sure, if you're not familiar with Reeve knives, do research and kind of know what you're getting, because the last thing I would want to see is somebody spend $500 on something like this and then, you know, be expecting something like this that actually locks open. So that concludes my overview of the Reeve Large Impinda. Again, huge shout out to my buddy Zach for sending me this one. Yeah, we will see you next time. Thanks.